Texas Texas Sex Offender Registration Program. The Texas Sex Offender Registration Program, Chapter 62 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, is a sex offender registration of public notifications law designed to protect public from sex offenders. This law requires adults and juvenile offenders to register with the local law enforcement authorities of the city they reside in. If the sex offender does not reside in the city with local law enforcement authorities of the county they reside in, registration involves the sex offender providing the local law enforcement authority with information that includes, but not limited to, the sex offender's name, address, color, photo, offense of the offender was convicted of or adjudicated for. Sex offender registration are required to periodically report to the local law enforcement authority to verify the accuracy of the registration information and to promptly report certain changes in the information as those changes occur. A sex offender who fails to comply with the registration registration requirement is subject to felony prosecution. Public notification of the registry sex offenders is accomplished in several different ways. First, the Texas Department of Public Safety maintains a statewide sex offender registry database. This database contains all information provided to the Texas local law enforcement authorities by sex offenders required to register. State law specifically makes most information in the database freely available to the public. The public may access the information at any time through the DPS, the Texas Department of Public Safety website located in the Texas Department Sex Offender Registry. Further, every local law enforcement authority in Texas maintains a sex offender registry that contains information on all sex offenders registered with the authority. Like the information in the Texas Department of Public Safety database, state law makes most registration information contained in the local requirements available to the public. Since some local law enforcement authorities have established local websites the public can access to search for sex offenders living in the community, state law also permits local law enforcement authorities to publish some sex offenders in the newspaper, circular or other periodical that serves the community the sex offender resides in. Finally, if a high-risk sex offender or a civilly committed sexual violent predator moves into the community, the Texas Department of Public Safety will notify the community by mailing each resident and business in the community a postcard containing information about the offender or the predator. Okay, so laws are not created to serve everybody equally. 2, an accusation is enough to destroy somebody's life. 3, you do have people that actually commit certain types of crimes, but even some of the crimes that get people on the sex offender registry doesn't mean that they are a violent criminal. Some of these charges do consist of using the restroom in public, or some type of internet porn, or, I don't know all the types of ways that people can get on the registry, but some of these charges don't even involve another party. So if laws are put in place to protect, then 1, you can't identify everybody as a sexual predator that's on the registry. 2, you have to remember everybody that signed a plea deal is not guilty of the crime that they actually committed. And you also have to remember everybody that take a case to trial and lose is not guilty of the crime that they lost. It's a strong possibility sometimes, people may be just an environment or product of the environment with not enough resources to combat what they were sucked into. So all this to say, if laws are put in place to protect people, then why are they used to create an environment of fear? Why are laws put in place to demonize people that may or may not have committed certain crimes? Why is everybody on the registry considered some type of offender or predator? And why, especially knowing that the system is not perfect, especially knowing that people that report issues and problems don't always tell the truth, especially knowing people actually sign plea deals to get the most lenient sentence, why would you create websites so people can legally discriminate against other people? Out of all the charges anybody can get in life, the only one that come with a registry is people that's accused of or commit certain acts with sexual nature. But yet, again, you have actual murderers. You have people that carry deadly diseases that sometimes always don't publicly tell partners that they are sexually attracted to that they have a deadly virus. You have people that commit real violent crimes. I can go down a list of them. Robbery with a weapon, attempted murder, certain types of assault that don't have any sexual nature in it, and yet no registry. The premise of the sex offender registry should be to keep community safe. But the people that they monitor, again, everyone is not guilty, and yet with the sex offender registry, out of all the other crimes, when you put them next to each other, the sex offender registry has the lowest recidivism rate. Now, I don't know if that's because there's a good portion of innocent people actually on a registry, or if a lot of people on a registry is on a registry from explicit internet nature. I don't know if it's because they were entrapped by law enforcement, but one thing I know, out of every charge, from rape to murder to theft to armed robbery to larceny to whatever, sex cases have the lowest recidivism rate. And 9 times out of 10, when somebody on a registry go to prison or back to prison, it's on a technicality, on a failure to register. Yet, people make life as difficult as they can for people on the registry, want to publicize their every move, want to keep them under a magnifying glass, want to notify everybody around of something that they carry, which may or may not even be true. So my question is this justice? I believe it not.